Welcome to the Healthcare Plus podcast, hosted by Quint Studer and Dan Collard. I'm Nicole Webb-Bodie, partner at Healthcare Plus Solutions Group. Thank you for joining us as we bring together leaders and change makers from across the healthcare industry. In each high-impact segment, you'll hear about the latest challenges organizations are facing and learn how guests are rewiring solutions to drive real change. Plus, you'll walk away from each episode with practical tools, techniques, and best practices to implement in your own role and in your organization. For more information on your host or to listen to recent episodes of the podcast, please visit www.healthcareplussg.com/podcast. Now, I'm pleased to welcome today's host, Dan Collard, who will introduce you to our next guest.
Well, hi, everybody. It's Dan Collard, and this is yet another episode in this really fun series leading up to a very special event coming up in April in Atlanta. And of course, that event is Rewiring Healthcare, Foundation to Future. It's going to be April 28th and 29th at the Atlanta Gateway Marriott, which, if you're not familiar with that venue, it's actually right on the campus of the Atlanta airport. So if this is something that you would find value in coming to join us, you don't even have to grab a taxi, grab a shuttle, grab an Uber or a Lyft. You can literally get on the shuttle like you're headed to the car rental location, and it drops you off right at the foot of the hotel. We tried to make it as convenient as possible. Now, if you've listened to any of our other episodes, you know that I've had the pleasure of talking to all the folks that are going to share the stage at our conference. And today we get to talk with Kay Kennedy, who is one of the founders of an organization called uLeadership. And Kay, along with her co-founders, have joined the HPSG family. A lot of really good stuff going on. But first and foremost, Kay, welcome to the podcast again.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be with you.
Well, and it's kind of fun because people might recognize your voice, but now, since we've changed to this video platform, they'll get to see your face as well. And so always kind of fun. Kay, you've got some really good stuff going on with the platform that you helped create called Human-Centered Leadership. And of course, one of the most exciting things is a brand new book. Let's, first of all, before we get to the conference, let's talk about this revolution and this book that just came out with the American Nursing Association.
Thanks, Dan. We are so excited. I just got my copies yesterday and from the ANA publisher, and it looks fantastic. The name of the book is Human-Centered Leadership in Healthcare. The Revolution Continues. And what we cover in this book is really just the evolution of the theory of human-centered leadership, because as we have presented this in practice and in academia, it's evolved. And so that's what we are sharing. We are talking about outcomes in there. We have a whole chapter where our client partners have been so kind as to share their journey and share the outcomes that they're experiencing as a result of implementing human-centered leadership in healthcare. Love that chapter. And then we just talk about really the sustainability as well. So that's the book. There are so many crosswalks in the back of the book, and we really expect this to take off in academia for really all levels of nursing education, but it's also applicable for practice. And that's why that was our intention from the beginning. We have discussion questions and and sort of thought-provoking self-reflection questions as well that can easily be adapted to a book club in practice. So that's where we are with the book. It's great.
What I really like about it is what you said. It extends the theory, which of course is where human-centered leadership began. It began in research, in theory. But what I really like about this book is, like you just said, you've put it into practice. The proof's in the pudding. You've got a number of examples of what this really looks like what I would call in the trenches with our nurse colleagues around the industry like that. So we have the book, we have your work that is being done today in all sorts of organizations around the country, academic medical centers, community hospitals, systems large and small. And now, for the first time, we get to bring that message to an HPSG conference. And I'm just so excited. Matter of fact, we were so excited, we gave you guys more space, you ladies, more space than I think anybody else in the conference. We're going to have a breakfast breakout. We're going to have a lunch breakout. And then, of course, we're going to have the message from the main stage for all of our attendees at this conference. And I just couldn't be more excited. Let's spend just a couple of minutes for our audience sake. If I'm considering coming to Rewiring Healthcare conference in April, and I hear about this human-centered leadership idea, what'll be some things that folks can expect to hear and to learn and to, most importantly, take away from the conference? Love to have you share that.
Okay, great. Well, at the lunch and the breakfast, we'll have an opportunity for networking with other human-centered leaders. That's pretty valuable opportunity in and of itself. And we're going to be sharing some updates on research. We have um, leaders from different organizations that are going to be sharing what they're doing. And we have a colleague from academia that's going to be sharing different research projects that she's leading related to the implementation and outcomes of human centered leadership in healthcare. And what I'm really looking forward to as well is the opportunity for Lucy and Susan and I to really share with those who are in attendance about how leadership looks different once you change the way you think about it. And I know you all know our tagline, it starts with you, but it's not about you. And when you really take that in, it does change some of the ways that you spend your time as a leader. And so we're going to talk about that. And then for the send off, we're going to talk about how to remain high touch in a high tech world. So, really excited about all that. And as people across the country are letting us know that they're going to be there, I'm just really thrilled and so excited for our friends and colleagues to meet each other, to talk together, and just to network with each other and share ideas on human-centered leadership. So that's what it's about.
You said something really important there, just the networking opportunity. We have always believed, with all the conferences we've done over the last 20 some years, um, it's just a special moment when you can put like minded and now what I call like hearted people in the same room. Their hearts and their minds are very similar. And in addition to the content that folks will get from the stage, there's nothing like sitting at a table, sharing a breakfast, sharing a lunch with folks that are thinking the same way, facing the very same challenges, no matter whether you're a large organization, a small organization, an urban organization, or a rural organization. We're all facing the same challenges. And this whole notion of, leadership looking different when it becomes as human centered as you talk about. I always think, everyone knows that I'm the husband of a nurse. And I always think, what a great gift that you and Susan and Lucy have created, because the gift is really giving nurses today the best bosses they've ever had, the best leaders they've ever had. And just, your platform, the assessment work that you do, finding out our types within the body of work. I'm so excited to have the audience learn all the more. And there's nothing like learning from the folks that created it. So to have you and Lucy Leclerc and Susan Campis all together at the conference, along with some of your partner organizations, boy, it just doesn't get any better than that. So we're excited to have you. And it's going to be a great conference, April 28th and 29th at the Atlanta Marriott Gateway. Kay, thanks for taking a couple minutes today. Tell Susan and Lucy we're looking forward to seeing them, and we'll see you in April.
Great. Thank you so much, Dan.
If you would like free resources and access to our latest books, articles, and industry insights, visit our website at healthcareplussg.com. We hope you'll join us next time as we continue our journey to make healthcare better for caregivers, patients, and communities.